Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to Today in African History with Baba Shaka. I'm Baba Shaka, and today is January 13th, 2021. And on this day, January 13th, 1913, a great organization was founded right here in the Washington, D.C. area at Howard University. HU, you know. All right. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was founded, as I said, on January 13, 1913, by 22 collegial women at Howard University to promote academic excellence and provide assistance for those in need. Let's look at their mission. Okay, the Delta's mission was they were committed to the constructive development of their members and to public servants with a primary focus on the African or the black community. Okay, the purpose of the organization now, and remember, Delta Sigma Theta is a not-for-profit private organization whose purpose is to provide assistance and support through established programs in local communities throughout the world. Since its founding, more than 300,000 women have joined the organization. The organization is a sisterhood of predominantly black college-educated women. Predominantly, there are a lot of non-blacks are also part of the organization. And the sorority currently has over 1,000 collegiate and alumni chapters located in the United States, the Arab Gulf states, Canada, Japan, Germany, the Virgin Islands, Bermuda, the Bahamas, Jamaica, and the Republic of Korea. The major programs of the sorority are based upon the organization's 5-point programmatic thrust, and more than 10,000 members typically attend Delta Sigma Theta sorority's biannual national convention, and each of the 7 regional conferences, which are typically held in the years that is no national convention, that typically host thousands of members. At its recent 51st national convention held right here in D.C., more than 38,000 members registered and attended. Okay, registered and attended. Now, who was responsible for this organization or for the founding of this organization? There were 22 women, all students at Howard University, who came together to put together this organization. And these women are Osceola McCarthy Adams, Margaret Young Alexander, Winona Cargyle or Cargyle Alexander. I think it's Cargyle. Winona Cargyle Alexander, Ethel Cuff Black, Bertha Pitts Campbell, Zephyr Chisholm Carter, Edna Brown Coleman, Jessie McGuire Dent, Frederica Chase Dodd, Myra Davis Hemmings, Olive C. Jones, Jimmy Bug Middleton, Pauline Oberdorfer Minor, Vashti Turley Murphy, Naomi Sewell Richardson, Mamie Reddy Rose, Eliza Pearl Shippen, Florence Letcher Toms, Ethel Carr Watson, Worthy Blackwell Weaver, Marjorie Penn White, and Edith Mott Young. These are the 22 young women who came together to put together this organization. Okay? Now, who belongs to this organization? I'd like to take a look at some of the notable members of this organization, because you've heard of some of these people. You may not have realized that they were members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Now, one of the founders, Osceola McCarthy Adams, she was one of the first black actresses on Broadway, and she was the director of the Harlem School of Arts and directed the theatrical debut of both Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier. All right. Then, of course, there was Ruby D. Davis, the great actress and wife of Ossie Davis. She was definitely an extraordinary actress with performance credits on stage and film and on television. She's also written a book of poetry. Patricia Roberts Harris, who served as Delta's first executive director. She was also the first black woman to be appointed ambassador to a European country, Luxembourg to be to be exact, and to be appointed to a presidential cabinet post as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. She was later appointed as Secretary of Health and Human Services, and in January 2000, she was honored on the 23rd commemorative stamp in the United States Postal Service's Black Heritage Series. Okay, then of course there was, you know, you've heard of this lady. If you haven't, you please Google her, check her out, research her, whatever. Dr. Dorothy Height, PhD. And Dr. Height was the 10th national president of the organization. She served from 1947 to 1956, and she was appointed by President Jimmy Carter to the Presidential Commission on the National Agenda for the 1980s. She served as president of the National Council of Negro Women for more than 40 years. Okay. Barbara Jordan. Barbara Jordan was the first African American to serve in the U.S. Congress from the South since Reconstruction. And she was the first black woman to preside over a state senate and the first African American to deliver the keynote address at the Democratic National Convention. On the 2nd of January, we talked about fighting Shirley Chisholm. Well, fighting Shirley Chisholm, if you don't remember, you can go back in the archives and look at what I did on January 2nd. Fighting Shirley Chisholm, of course, was the second African and the first African woman to be elected to the U.S. House of Congress. She was also the first woman and the first African to run for the office of president, representing one of the two major political parties. Okay, that was fighting Shirley Chisholm. Then, of course, there was Mary Church Terrell, who was the first African American chosen to represent the United States Congress of Women and to serve on the Board of Education of a major city. I mean, I can go on and on. There's so many Deltas who have made their mark in service, you know. So here's what I'd like for you to do. First, of course, I want you to hit that subscribe button and become a subscriber, and hit that little bell icon so you can be notified whenever we put one of these videos out. But I also like, if you know a Delta, reach out to her today and say Happy Founders Day. If you don't know a Delta, then you probably need to get out more. Just kidding. But so today in African history, January 13th, 1913, the founder day of the great organization Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. This is Today in African History with Baba Shaka, and until tomorrow, masalam.